Hello everyone, this is Burger Boy. Welcome back to another video, and today we are taking a look at my updated Scareclaw deck profile. I know I haven't done an update to this deck since Baronne got banned, so unfortunately I'm not able to play her anymore, but the changes I made to the extra deck to supplement not having her anymore, they're still pretty solid, and I've walked away with quite a few good wins from this with this deck, including against heavy hitters like Tenpai and branded chimeras and stuff like that. So let's get straight on into it. And this video will also contain some test hands and combos to make up for the very, very long time I've taken to update this deck for you guys. So let's take a look. We're playing 3 copies of Scareclaw. Reichart, obviously, he's your starter. You want to see him in pretty much every opening hand as quickly as possible, which you can get to anyway through the field spell. And we're playing triple copies of Acro. This will give your Tryhard extra attack points. Scareclaw Astra, which will let your Tryhard attack multiple times. Triple copies of Scareclaw Balone, which will give the Tryhard piercing damage. And that's it for the Scareclaw guys. For the Cash Sierra stuff, of course, triple Fenrir and double Scarecash and 1 Visa Starfrost. I've considered bumping Scarecash down to 1 and playing 2 Starfrost. So if you guys want to try picking up this deck, definitely give that a shot. It's very viable. In fact, it might be a bit better. But sometimes I just like having the double Scarecash in hand, just in case I brick super duper hard and I really only have like a another Scarecash or a Fenrir, which I've searched or something. And the only way to unbrick the hand and the field is to use Scarecash. It's not ideal, but playing 2 is sometimes helpful for me. But you can always play 41 cards and play 2 Starfrost, or side out one of the traps or spell techs I'm choosing to play, which I'll get to later. And for the hand traps, it's just triple Ash. I mean, you got to. I did end up siding out the Nibiru. You'll see eventually what that comes down to. The reason why I sided it out in just a sec. And for the spells, we're going to move on to triple Primitive Planet Reichphobia. Crazy card. If there's more than 3 defense mode monsters on the field, you can pop a card. That's both fields. And your opponent will lose 100 attack and defense for every defense mode monster on the field. So you can really, really shrink down your opponent's monsters with just this card and having a bunch of defense mode monsters on both fields, which Scareclaw Tryhard helps because it forces everything into defense mode, except for Lynx, of course. But Lynx are sometimes a bit tricky for this deck to take care of, but it can more than enough hold its own against decks that really aren't prepared to deal with it. Moving on, we've got double Scareclaw Arrival. It's a non-once per turn monster reborn, and it can protect your Scareclaw Link monster or Visa Starfrost from being destroyed by Battle or Card Effect. I believe it's no, just your Scareclaw Link monster. My bad. Reading. 1 Scareclaw Straddle and 1 Defanging. You can easily side either of these 2 out to play the second Starfrost. I really like having them though, because this is targeting protection and this is a negate. Plus you can suck up your opponent's attack points and just make Tryhard massive. I made him like 7,200 against a Gate Guardian player a month or 2 ago at Locals. It was insane. Shout out to that kid from Locals. I'm not going to say your name for sake of confidentiality, but you know who you are if you watch this video. And of course, we're playing double Triple Tactics Talent and double Prod of Prosperity. Yes, I did bump the Prosp down to 2 because this deck doesn't brick a whole lot. Since we're playing all those main deck starters, that is just a Scareclaw name to go into the Lightheart. Pretty much any Scareclaw name just turns the entire combo online. So you don't really need to find yourself digging a whole lot with Prosp, which is nice. And of course, we're still playing our 1 of Rhoda and our 1 of Call by the Grave, QCRs. Had to do it to them. And the reason why we took out the Nibiru and the second pot is so we could finally play the main deck Crossout Designator. Yes, I know, not a lot of people like this decision, but because I find myself constantly never drawing into it when it's in my side, and when I side it in, I never draw into it. And now that I've started maining it, I draw it all the time, which is definitely favorable for me, because a single Imperm or an Ash can very much cripple this combo. So having the triple cross out, always helpful. And of course, in the traps lineup, we've got the triple Imperm and the one Twin Saw. Twin Saw is definitely one you don't want to side out for the second Starfrost, because it's just a Tribute 1, Pop 2, and then you can banish it from the grave on the same turn, and either player can activate the effects of Link monsters on the field for the rest of the turn. And because Tryhart's effect to defense mode everything is not inactivated, it's a conditional effect like Baguska or Cosmic Slicer Zerol when it interacts with A counters. It's not an activated effect. It's just an inherent application to the field. So you're completely immune to Twin Saw. And if you're going against a Link deck, this is very good. Like I said, it's very tricky for this deck to out Link decks, but this card really helps with that. And that's it for the main deck. Let's take a look at the extra. This is what's changed as well. The main deck did change a little bit, but the extra, it really just changed once for the Baron. So we're still playing one each of the Scareclaw. Lightheart, might consider playing 3 of it. I do have some room I can bump around in here, as well as the double Tryhart. Again, this can also be at 3, depending on what your preferences are. And we've got the one Masquerena and the one Little Knight. Absolute must in today's meta. We've got one Dark the Dark Charmer and one Asa. This is just so we can steal our opponent's Fenrir if they have it, or the Dark is for stealing literally any Dark, which there's a lot in the game. But these two are easily cideable for the extra copy of these guys here. Like, the Fenrir tech choice is really good, but not a lot of people are playing Fenrir unless it's not a big part of their engine like Scareclaw's is. But because Fenrir can add Scare Cash, and that turns the Scareclaw combo online, it's good to have this. So I'd hold on to this, but the Dark is definitely an option. Unless you're going against Branded and you need to like get one of their targets out of grave, and that's also good. Again, that's like the extra deck is very situational with this deck, but I love it nonetheless. I'm going to keep playing it. And of course, the One Nightmare Unicorn. Again, another card you can easily take out for something else. The Little Knight is just a better unicorn, but sometimes having a 2200 is more favorable over a 16. But, you know, again, it's up to you. I like playing both because it just fills out extra deck space. The one BLS, again, like another easily removable card. Like, this card is, I never summon it. It's so inconsequential to the end game because usually just Tryhart with 3 defense mode Scareclaws is enough, like the 3 guys. Like, just punch 3 times with 3900 into all your opponent's defense mode monsters, which are weak as hell because of the field spell or whatever. So, the Blackluster Soldier, definitely might just consider tossing it. And then, of course, the Boral Sword Dragon. Again, like, I sing this guy's praises. I called it, quote, the spice in my last video, but I even admitted, like, I'd never summon it. So sometimes it comes up if you just want to be funny. But again, like, this whole row here is just do whatever you want with it, really. And then the one access code, I kind of recommend keeping access because it's kind of good to go for games, especially if you can't out a Link monster and your field spell's gone, you need a pop to get rid of a Link monster, then access code is definitely your guy. And then the one Apollosa, I mean, it's just there. Again, you don't really need her. Negates are always good. If you want to go first with this deck, you can make Apo instead of your Tryhart, which is an option. And then when you go second, just go right into the... when you go next, just go right into the Tryhart line. But if you're going second, definitely just always go with Tryhart because it's an FTK deck, right? And then Goddess, the QCR. Have to do it. And then the one Astrolabe. The Goddess comes up a lot. You have towers that your opponent will put on the field that you can't out. Like, I'll mention that Gate Guardian player again. He had Dark Guardian on field, which is unaffected by everything except traps for some reason. And yes, that does also include, I learned this the hard way. I tried to Masquerena it away on his turn, but like, you know, some more educated players at the moment. Now I am educated, so I can make this ruling myself. They said that no, Dark Guardian can't be linked away with Masquerena because it's unaffected, because it includes part of its effect to link with it. So there's it didn't really make sense at the moment, but it kind of does. Someone who might be more knowledgeable about rulings could point that out in the comments for me if IP really could affect Dark Guardian there or not. I'm pretty sure it's no, but they're like, well, just wait for your turn and then link away with the inherent effect, the inherent summoning conditions of Goddess, and then it's unaffected. Or then it is affected, so that's how I was able to out it. So yes, and some people might be playing Raid Raptors, they might be playing the Voiceless Voice Skull Guardian, and it's like, he's massive, he's like, 4,100, I'm pretty sure. So just to like get rid of it by summoning Goddess is always great. And Astrolabe pops cards, it can't be destroyed by a battle, and gains half the attack of a monster it pops. So definitely keep the Astrolabe. My biggest thing that I would take away first would be BLS and put in like Chaos Angel, because it's a Synchro 10, and you can make Synchro 10s, obviously, which is why I was playing Baron. And it's really good to have Chaos Angel in there, because the tuner and the non-tuner you will be using are Visa Starfrost and Scareclaw Rykart, which are light and dark. So both of its inherent protection effects will kick in for Chaos Angel if summoned that way. All right, into the side deck. We got Triple Droll and Lockbird in the alt art. Love that rarity collection upgrade for this. It would be nice to have the alties. I think I have two. You might see this upgraded in the future. And then the Nibiru's went to the side deck. I mean, I never draw it anyway, but again, I main the cross out, so it's just a free target. And still playing the Dogorins, because I still find it hilarious to just like, you know, here's this thing to out your towers. Oops, it can't be summoned in attack position. There you go. It goes into attack, and oops, I have Tryhard on board, you're in defense. Now you have a 1200 defense point idiot who's even lower because of the field spell and all these defense mode monsters I have on the field. And oh look, I have Balone on field, so now I'm going to pierce into you with my Tryhard and just do a bazillion damage. And I have considered siding Runic Slumber to target Dogorin in the battle phase to make it indestructible by the next battle, so I can just pierce into this thing with like 500 defense twice. Which, I know, it's very degenerate, but I'm still on the fence about it. And the two cards I would side out would be Bell and Ogre. Great cards. I mean, these two are easily like sideable for whatever in your situation. The Defanging and the Straddle are probably your best options to side out with these two. But again, it just depends on your matchup and what the situation calls for. And then, of course, we got the double Lightning Storm. Great card for removal. You need to get rid of things. You got to get rid of them, especially against Labyrinth. I hate Labyrinth, but my buddy at Locals who plays Labyrinth, I love you, man. I know you're watching this video because I'm going to send it to you, but screw Labyrinth, man. Screw Labyrinth. You know, I don't know what Labyrinth would need. I guess just rollback. I mean, it's so inconsequential to the deck that you don't even need to play it, but just ban rollback, man. Anyway, moving on. We got the double D barrier because, you know, screw Tenpai, screw Fiendsmith. This guy can keep their fusions from hitting the field, keep the synchros from hitting the field. You can call rituals, so you can counter Voiceless Voice. Again, like, it's another card where, oops, you can't interact with links with this card, but any other archetype in the game that could be meta, that's any of the Ritual Pendulum, Xyz, Fusion, and Synchro, this card hard outs like entirely. So this card can be game winning in certain situations. And then double evenly matched. And again, most of these are just cross out targets too. Like the Droll, the Nibiru, the two Ghost Squirrels, the D Barrier, just in case. I mean, I'm generally unaffected because I'd only be playing two non-link monsters in my extra. And then the Evenly, of course, is another cross-out target, because I have a lot of monsters on the field by the end of the combo. Speaking of combo, let's take a look at that. Let's shuffle up here real quick and not flip that card upside down. It was Ash. So let's do just a quick little shuffle here. Shuffle, shuffle. How's your guys' days been going? I just got home. I was on nights, and then I had a car appointment, which took 2.5 hours to put new brakes on and do an oil change. But, you know, I trust the process. I'm not the mechanic, and the guys at the shop are good to me, so I will not complain, except for the amount they charged me. But they're an independent shop, and they have to pay for parts that they use to fix cars, so again, I won't complain. I'm not the mechanic. I'm just the customer. Alright, we're going to draw 5 cards and see what we can do. Again, like I said, this deck doesn't really brick a lot, and I'm about to eat my words. No, actually, this hand is okay. So you would start by special summoning Fenrir and Fenrir effect to add a Kashtira. So we're going to add a Scareclaw Kashtira, and then we can just summon it by either banishing the other Fenrir in our hand or the Astra. So let's just go with Fenrir. We're going to banish that. Next, we can just choose to special summon Astra next to a zone a Scareclaw is on, and we can use the Astra to link summon into our Scareclaw Lightheart. And then on summon, the Lightheart is going to activate to add our field spell, the Primitive Planet Reichphobia, which is here. And we'll activate it to add a Visa Starfrost or a Scareclaw card. So we didn't open the Reichheart, so we're going to search it. But if we did open Reichheart, we would search the Starfrost to get the Synchro engine online. We're going to special summon Reichheart. And if you... I should have mentioned this. If you've summoned Fenrir in defense, and then when you have Reichheart on field, when you search a Scareclaw spell trap, and there are 3 defense mode monsters on the field, you can draw a card. So let's just say that he was in defense the whole time. And I'm not an idiot, and I just forget that that effect is a thing. So we are going to search our Scareclaw Arrival. If we opened it, I would search Straddle or Defanging just to, you know, do extra protection. But we didn't open Arrival, so we're going to search it. So we're going to add Arrival from our deck to our hand, and we're also going to be able to draw a card. So let's just do a quick 3-cut, and we'll draw. Look at that. We just... open the 3rd Astra, because why not? At this point in time, we can go ahead and just use these 3 as a link summon. And now we summon our Scareclaw Triheart. He hits the field. Everything will be moved to defense mode. If you're going first, it'll only be your own things, but if you're going second, all your opponent's stuff, except their link monsters, obviously, will be moved to defense. Next, we can go ahead and... Excuse me. I almost burped on camera. I did burp on camera. My bad. This is kind of an awkward situation because we really want to get the Arrival Engrave to protect, but we also need to reborn a Scareclaw. But as you can see, we opened all of our Astras. So let's just... let's just pretend that this Astra was an Acro instead, or whatever. Yeah, look at that, Acro. Okay. So let's just pretend that this was the case. So we're going to activate Arrival to bring back Astra. No, we're not. My bad. Oh, okay. We can use Arrival to bring back our Scareclaw Kashtira. Okay. I know my deck. I swear. Effective Triheart, he is going to revive a level 3 Scareclaw and then add a Scareclaw from deck to hand. And that does not have to be a level 3. So, we're going to summon our Scareclaw Astra, and we're going to add Scareclaw Belone from deck to hand because we have the other one in hand. So there we go. And here we will special summon Belone and Acro. And they are inherent effects. They do not start a chain. So do not let your opponent try to convince you that they start a chain. They don't. You can read, they all do not have a semicolon. You can special summon this card from your hand to your main monster zone adjacent to a Scareclaw monster you control, or in its column. And as you can see, that is a comma as a break in the sentence, not a semicolon, indicating the start of a chain. Never let your opponent convince you otherwise, because I had a Tenpai player try to convince me that no, I'd like to negate that, and I say, it doesn't start a chain, it's inherent. And they're like, what? No, it's just... And then a friend had to come along and be like, no, it's... I'm mocking this poor Tempai player, and he's like one of my favorite people at locals. I'm so sorry if you see this video, but I'm sorry. He was wrong in his ruling, and I was right. That's the main thing. So here we have a really solid setup. We have a face-down banish off a monster effect. We have a, it can attack and defense, and anytime my Kashtira or Scareclaw cards battle an opponent's monster, that opponent's monster is negated until the end of the turn. So even if they go to grave, they're still negated. All their effects are negated until the end of the turn, and that is during either player's battle phase, because the wording on Scareclaw Kashtira is that if a Scareclaw or Kashtira card, where is it? If your final effect, if your Kashtira or Scareclaw monster battles an opponent's monster, that opponent's monster's effects are negated until the end of this turn. There you go. So you have pretty much a pseudo negate on field, and it can attack and defense. So it's an honorary super heavy samurai. This guy is going to give your Tryhard 300 attack for every defense mode monster on your field. So here we have 5. That's going to make him 4,500. Balloon's going to give him piercing, and Astra will let him attack X amount of times the number of Scareclaw monsters with different names we control. So he gets an attack for 1, 2, 3, 4 different Scareclaw names, 4 times attacks with piercing, and 4,500 attack. Now let's say that if this this Fenrir was instead Rykart and your field looked like this would be 5 attacks. Sorry, not 4,500. It'd be 42 because it's 3 times 4. My bad. Now it's 45 with 5 attacks and piercing, and yeah, your opponent is dead. Essentially, is what I'm saying. Your opponent is dead, especially if you're going second. A field that would set up Chaos Angel would look something like this. So really all you would need for it is Rykart plus like a name plus Fenrir. And that's like pretty much it, I think. Yeah, I think so. Let's see what we can do. Normal summon the Rykart, and that is going to add your Arrival. Now you're immediately going to... No, wait, sorry. You'll special Fenrir first. My bad. I know my deck, I swear! And you'll add the Scarecash. Then you'll normal summon your Rykart. Add your Arrival and immediately link off the Rykart into Lightheart. Lightheart effect to add the field spell. Phobia effect to add a Visa Starfrost or a Scareclaw. In this case, we are going to grab the Visa Starfrost. There we go. And then Starfrost effect in hand to pop a monster on the field with a different type and attribute. So that'll be Lightheart, which is a light beast, dark beast warrior, and Visa Starfrost is a light warrior. We're going to summon him. Lightheart effect in grave once per duel, not once per turn, once per duel. If it's in your grave and you control Visa, so you can summon him back. Then you're going to activate your Scareclaw Arrival to bring back your Rykart from grave. Rykart and Visa Starfrost. And let's just say that we have Chaos Angel. So, again, like I said, it would probably be the BLS that I would switch out. So that's Chaos Angel, don't forget. And now we can simply just special summon Astra. Link these 3 off. Go into Tryhard. We can use Scarecash effect to banish our Lightheart because it's already been used. It's exhausted. We don't need it anymore to summon itself. Effect of Tryhard to revive a Scareclaw and add 1 from deck to hand. Whatever your situation desires is the right choice. So right now we have 2 attacks. It depends on if you want it to do piercing or give it more attack points. Me, I just like grabbing the piercing one. So here we have a Chaos Angel, and we have a 3 attack with piercing Scareclaw Tryhard. It's still at 3,000, but we do have ways to get into our acro. Like, we can relink the Tryhard into another Lightheart to get the field spell again to search acro, or hope we draw into it, or... Really, there's a lot of ways to just go full combo with this deck. Just one Scareclaw opens your lineup. It can be a little tight to open that way, but I'm sure you guys will find a way to make it work if you decide to pick up this deck. And if you do, I'd be really happy about that. But, like I say, put your own spin on it, right? I have no problem with people net decking me, but at least put your own spin on it, right? Like, I have no problem with people taking inspiration from my decks, but by all means, like, use it as inspiration and then add your own twist. Like I said, you might not like the defanging in the main. You might not like the prosperity. You might not like the crossout designator in the main, and you'd rather main triple Nibiru. It's completely up to you. So I hope you guys liked this video, and I hope those combo guides were helpful for those of you who want to pick up Scareclaw. You can also look at my multiple videos on my channel of Scareclaw actually playing in Master Duel without the commentary. And also join my Discord, where I play Scareclaw almost every single time we have a Master Duel or a remote duel night. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, letting me know what you thought down in the comments and what kinds of decks or profiles or videos you'd like to see next. I will definitely not take 6 months to get to them, and I hope to see you guys in the Discord if you choose to join. We play Yu-Gi-Oh! All the time. We do VCs with certain events like progression or tournaments or challenges or just FTK deck building or just general just hanging out and chilling. So I hope you guys will come by and have a good time. Thanks you guys so much for watching. It's been half an hour. My foot's asleep because I'm sitting on my foot on the floor. And I'm going to try to take a nap because I just got off nights and I'm tired. So thank you guys so much for watching. Again, I appreciate you guys. I love you guys all. I'll see you in the Discord. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.